And this pardon is all about Joe Biden protecting Joe Biden. There's a reason that this pardon extends all the way back to January 1st, 2014. It is meant to cover up Joe's involvement in the corruption.
Well, I think
it's shameful and completely unsurprising.
I think that is sort of notable about pardons. Usually you get pardoned for the conduct that you pled to. But this is, I mean, so we're talking about gun charges. And frankly, the gun charges, if it had been in a local state court here, he would have gotten probation, from my experience. The tax charges, though, there are federal sentencing guidelines. He would have gone to prison for that. But this pardon didn't just address those two things. It goes way back, and it's basically an umbrella. If, I mean, anything that he might have done, traffic ticket. And that's what's, I mean, is so, distinctive about this, besides the fact that pardons oftentimes come after you serve time.
Well, that's right. And if you look at the language in this pardon is almost identical to the language that Gerald Ford had in his pardon of Richard Nixon. And it's one of the things I mentioned a minute ago, my podcast, Verdict with Ted Cruz. Today's podcast is a deep dive into the Hunter Biden pardon, because what happened here, understand, Joe Biden is claiming, gosh, Hunter was targeted just because he's my son. That is absolutely ludicrous. And in fact, what you saw was the Biden Department of Justice giving him every leniency possible, including a sweetheart plea deal. They initially tried to go to court and tried to get a slap on the wrist with no jail time whatsoever. And then when sunlight was put on that, the outrage was so enormous they backed away from that. Not only that, the special counsel that was appointed in this case allowed the statute of limitations to expire on most of the most serious crimes. And you played a minute ago the IRS whistleblowers. They made clear the Department of Justice's #1 objective was make sure that no questions could be asked about the big guy. No question could be asked about Joe Biden. The White House's strategy was always blame this on Hunter, say he's a troubled soul, he struggles with addiction. It's his problem. It was about covering up that the Biden family made tens of millions of dollars from this corruption.